Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists that it is completely possible to have a great career in the arts. And if you ever want to tune in and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just check out the schedule over at facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday to catch us on live. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time six-figure art business. With weekly trainings that include step-by-step proven art business techniques, plus painting tutorials from yours truly and other guest artists who are masters in their field, you will be well equipped to learn and grow into the highly skilled and highly profitable artist you know you're meant to be. I've figured out what it takes to build my own six-figure art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. It's not hard, but it does require your time and dedication. So, if you're up for the challenge, go to advancedmember.com. That's advancedmember.com to learn more. Hello, fellow artists! I am so excited to talk to you guys about this week's episode topic. So, this is all about Instagram art featuring accounts. And I'm going to be explaining what that is in general for if somebody's like, what did you just say? What is that? I'm going to be explaining exactly what it is, and I'm going to bet that you probably already know. But just in case, just so we're all on the same level playing field, I'm going to talk about what an art featuring account is, how you can utilize it to grow your Instagram, which everybody wants. Everybody wants to know, how do I get more followers? How do I do it? And I was like, this is one of the exact ways that I've used to grow my Instagram following quickly in the past couple years. I've been using this for maybe 2.5 years now, and I noticed a significant boost whenever I focus on this. And so whenever I focus on getting featured by art featuring accounts, either free or paid, sometimes I pay for them, sometimes I get it completely free, like this past week, which I did just a little kind of experiment, but I'll talk to you about that. So I just wanted to kind of prove that it does work to myself again, and so I can show you guys some evidence. So this past couple weeks, I have been using it to grow my Instagram. That way I could report to you on the podcast and give you essential tips and tricks to save you money and time so you can grow your Instagram to the best of your ability and make more money, because that's why we're all listening to these podcasts about business and doing all the things so we can make more money and live the life we want to live. Okay. That's all the intro I have. Now, a art featuring account. So, let's see. How do I explain this? Okay, so it's basically an account, just like you have an Instagram account. However, it's not just like one person sharing their own art. It's like a company or a group of people behind an Instagram account. They basically collect art from everybody else, from you, me, people we don't know, people we're about to discover, like everybody's art from all around the world, and they take it and they share it on their account. And some might say that's plagiarizing, and some people get mad when people do it. I don't understand that, but I see it as free marketing. I see it as attention. They're putting my art and your art and everybody's art that wants to participate in front of all of their followers. So this account can have between 10,000 to a couple million followers. There are some that are big time, and there are some that have just started, and there are some that are fake. And I'm going to show you, or I'm going to tell you all about, the ones that are little, the bigger ones, and the difference between how to tell if it's legit or if you're just going to waste your money, which I have not done. However, I've gotten really close to doing until I did a little bit more research, so we're going to talk about that too. Okay, so these art featuring accounts, they share everybody's art on their pages, and some people, like if you're an artist, you might have already gotten one of those weird emails. It's kind of weird because it's kind of like a cold call, or like a cold call direct message. Basically, you've got one of those direct messages in your DMs on Instagram from an art featuring page to say, hey, want to pay for a feature? And they automatically give you their terms and, like, you know, three for 10, 2 for 15, I don't know, whatever. And you're just kind of like, what is this? Like, I don't know. Is it scam? Like, everybody thinks that. Is it scam? And sometimes it is. Yes. And then a lot of times it's not. Because one of the first times that someone DM'd me, I was like, I don't know about this. So I tried it and I gained, several followers, and I was like, okay, maybe this works. And that was just kind of me dipping my toes into it. And now I do it regularly. So we're just gonna, while we're on that topic, actually, I just want to talk about how to determine if, like, one is fake and then if one is actually real. So just the main way to go about this is whenever, so like if you get one of those Instagram DMs, say, hey, you want to pay for a feature? First off, we're going to cover, you should do a free feature first, not paid, but you can easily tell by you go to their Instagram page, and if, say, they have like 100,000 followers and you're like, whoa, like they want to share my art to their 100,000 follower audience, amazing. And then you look directly at the photos that they're posting or the videos or whatever, and you scroll down, and if they have, several thousand likes, then it's probably legit. However, if an account with 100,000 followers has 100 likes, then it's probably trash. Don't use it. And that's really the best way to tell. And really, if you want to do a bunch of research on that, you can kind of go around and you can kind of see, okay, well, this one's legit and they get like 5,000 likes per photo and they have like 100,000 followers. And it's like, oh, well, this person gets 10,000 likes. It can kind of range. But then you see one that only gets like 100, 200, just a couple hundred. You can easily tell that one is fake. So just putting that right out there. Okay, so let's focus on how to get that free feature, okay? This is what I want you to do first. So before, going in and just paying whoever, whatnot, I would much rather you try to get a free feature. And the way to do that is you go to one of the art featuring accounts that you decide. And I actually have 5 listed here, which I will list in just a second. And I will give you guys 5 in the notes section of this podcast, and then the Artist Academy Advanced gets literally a whole list from me of every single one that I've used and everything, but I didn't want to leave you guys out for the podcast listeners, so I gave you 5 of some of my favorites. And what you can do is you can go on there, and some are free, some are paid, and you can go on there and you will see on their Instagram account. So like one of my favorite ones to use, it's at artwork_in_studio. So artwork in studio. And you go there and you look at their Instagram profile, and usually there's I don't know exactly what that one says because I don't have it in front of me right now, but most will have a tag for feature and then they'll have a hashtag. So I'm pretty sure Artwork in Studios is artwork_in_studio. So you can tag Artwork in Studio and then you hashtag Artwork in Studio. And then they might share your work on their platform. Easy, right? And you're already posting anyway. Some people are using hashtags, some people are not. Some people know you should. So this will be just another push to use some hashtags when you're sharing your art. But you're not out anything at all. And so whenever you do your next Instagram post, find one of these art featuring pages that you like and see what their hashtag is, see what their tag is, and tag them and use their hashtag in your post. And I will just say, I do not use the hashtag in my actual post. I'll put it in the comments. And for me, that works out a lot better because it's just not filling up all the space and stuff. And plus, my Instagram goes straight to Facebook as well, and these hashtags don't really work on Facebook. So it's just an automatic post. So I know when I post to Instagram, it goes to Facebook, and then I go down and comment on my Instagram all the hashtags that I want to use. That way, it's not putting on Facebook because you don't need it, and it's not jumbling up your caption. So just to put that out there too, I always hashtag the Artwork in Studio and several others. You can do up to 30. And I actually have a list for all the Artist Academy members. You can use your list that I provide you, but anybody who's listening, you can compile your own list of your favorite art featuring accounts to use and just, put it in the notes section of your phone. That way, all you have to do is copy. All you have to do is copy that little notes section in your phone and then paste it onto the comment section of your Instagram post. I'm currently in the middle of creating a PDF Word document for everybody that's in the Artist Academy Advanced, because I'm currently doing this for myself as well. And actually, by the time this episode airs, you will have had it last week because this one is airing in a little over a week from today. And so I will have given it to you last week. So this is your just nice reminder to use that document that I sent you. It's, it's super easy for you to just copy and paste. I have put my top art featuring accounts in there. I think there's about 50 right now, and I've labeled them, ones that I've personally used, ones that are legit, two that I have not used, and none are going to be on there that aren't legit. So you can trust all the ones that I've put on there for you, and it'll have the hashtag, and it'll have literally everything on there. So go to the email that I sent you, everybody's in the Artist Academy Advanced, open it up, download it, and then paste it to the notes section of your phone. And that's it. It took about 15 seconds to do. So on there I have the art featuring account, and then I have under that how many followers they have, so that way you don't have to go look to see, how big they are. And also I have the instructions, so you can either DM or tag or email or whatever to get a feature, and hashtag and all of that. And I have the hashtag and the @ tag for you, so that way all you have to do, like I said, is just copy and paste. So that's for everybody in the Artist Academy Advanced. Again, as you guys know, you listen to this, you guys hear the ads in it. Right now it's $27 a month, which is nothing. You pay more than that in coffee per month, and you get all of this stuff emailed to you, and you get just stuff to do every week, and it makes life a little bit easier. Plus, you can grow your Instagram following a lot easier because you don't have to go and search for all the different Instagram tag accounts. I've literally provided all of them for you, and they're the ones that I am currently using in my own art business. So yeah, this all came about because every Monday I sit down, and I've labeled every Monday as like a business day now. I used to come and I used to start Monday painting, and I'd paint Monday through Saturday and usually Sunday, and I just would nonstop. Now lately, every Monday, I just sit down and okay, what can I focus on the most in my art business? And what is going to, benefit me the most right now or in the long run for the end of the year, all of it. And I analyze what's working. And right now, I'm focusing on getting featured on these art featured accounts because a lot of people are home right now during this whole quarantine thing, which is when this is being recorded, and a lot of people are on social media a whole lot more. And so right now, I think getting the most eyes on my social media for the long run is my best strategy right now. It's not selling as much right now, although there are some people that are going to be buying art. I know that Sam Weeman, she's one of my students, she just did these $15 happy boxes, which I think is amazing. I just want to shout her out. I think it's awesome. I bought two, actually. She made these happy boxes to where it's a really heavily discounted art box. And so she puts her her stickers and a really cute little sketch in there, and just all the little things that would make someone happy. And she collects these orders and she sends them to people's friends. And so I sent them to two of my friends here recently. And I'm sure they're going to love them. They have not received them yet, but it should be any day now. And I'm so excited. So I say most people aren't buying right now. And this is a little off topic, but kind of related. But Sam did something in a way to where, she discounted it a little bit, and she took into mind that a lot of people are down right now. So her pitch on it was, if you want to make someone feel happy, send them a happy box, and that's a way to support her art. And it worked. And so she did really well with that. And so I haven't really tried the whole selling method right now. I'm more focused on growing my following and, creating art. That's me. But, and I suggest that as well. Or you could, be rocking it like Sam, who's doing it all. She's selling and painting and, getting featured and all. She's doing everything. So, but that was a little off topic. But okay, so to get back to the whole, everybody's at home right now. Now's a really good time to get the most attention on your social media. And, I've said it before, like the people who have the most attention are usually the people who are making the most sales. You could have an amazing offer, but if no one's there to see you or no one's watching you, no one sees it, they can't buy it. And so this is just a really good way to get your art out there to the masses as quickly as possible. And art featuring accounts, they do it fast. Like they feature you the next day or whenever they say they're going to, or for free or whenever. And like you see an immediate result. So it's a little harder for me to see the results right now because I have that K by my name, and so I think right now it's like a 57.6K, something like that. So I see it when it goes up the hundreds. So when it goes 57.6, 57.7, 0.8, 0.9. So I see it with the hundreds. So it takes quite a bit of a leap for me to notice a difference. However, if you haven't reached that 10K mark, you can see it by the ones. So if you have 300 followers, you'll go up to 320 like overnight using these art featuring accounts, or go up to 380 or whatever. I can't see that, but you can. So take advantage of that. If you're under 10,000, that's kind of a benefit because you can really see exactly how many followers you're getting from which account. And recently, so I mentioned I had tested this out. Recently, I've been really strategic and tagging certain people and doing the hashtags and all that. And I found some new hashtags and new tags and stuff. And I've been getting featured by accounts that I had never been featured before. And my account has gone up. It went up almost 100 overnight, or a little over 100, because I went from that 57.5 to 57.6 method, and I was like, dude, this stuff works. These new accounts are working. Yes. But even in the last 2 weeks, I've really been on TikTok, and I've really been trying to do the art featuring accounts hardcore, and I've gone up about 400 followers in the last couple weeks. And for me, even, that's really good. I've been really trying hard and putting a lot of effort into it. And so going up about 400 in the past 2 weeks, maybe less. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I didn't really measure it very well, but it's at least 400. And that's pretty good. And I just want to say that, though, too, because a lot of people just post and hope for the best. And that works, too. You have to have good content. However, the more strategic you are about doing it, the better it's going to go. And I'm sharing that I'm really strategic about it. This is something that I really want to focus on right now. And this is something that I'm probably not going to focus on as much towards the end of the year. I like to really spend a week, take a week and be like, okay, this is my main goal here. And the last couple weeks have been hashtags and tagging and TikTok. Whereas at the end of the year, it's not going to be hashtags and tagging and TikTok. Although I might do it here and there, I'm not going to really focus on it. And so it'll be okay, but right now is the time where it's just going to explode. My following is going to go up and up and up because that gets more followers and more attention on your art and more chances for me and you and everybody to make money at the end of the year, or really in summer, or really when people are starting to buy a whole lot of art. Okay, so like I mentioned, do the free first, and then think about doing the paid stuff. So as I've mentioned in the 2019 marketing review one that I did back in January, when I went through all of my advertising expenses and everything, I'm pretty sure I spent about 600-ish in advertising last year, and I spent about 300-ish in art featuring accounts. And then I spent the other 300 on boosting posts on Facebook and Instagram ads. And I will say I do way, 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 way better when I do put money through the art featuring accounts as opposed to when I do the boost, on Facebook and Instagram ads. I get way more followers when I am intentional and, either trying to do the free or the paid tags and hashtags and all of those to get a featured account. That works way better. So I would say my personal opinion is what I do more so. I put my money in the featuring accounts rather than do the ads. That's just what works for me. And I would also rather do a giveaway than do an ad. I just don't like the idea of doing a Facebook or Instagram ad. I might change my mind soon when I learn them a little bit better. I think that might be part of it too. But right now, I just know what I'm doing right now is working, so I'm going to keep doing it and keep paying attention to it. So, how to do a paid one. And I also want to mention, like, if the idea of paying for an ad makes you feel a little weird, don't. Because we're art businesses. But think of that. You have an art business. And we're to be taken seriously. And think of it as like a commercial, you know? Like, imagine if, I'm trying to think of like a popular brand, and the first thing I could think of is like Coke or Pepsi, you know? They do a lot of commercials, and like high-end and just really extravagant, and that's how people, you know, get to know them. Or, I mean, everybody knows what Coke and Pepsi is. However, if Coke stopped doing commercials and Pepsi did twice as much, I guarantee people would start to sway towards one or the other, especially the new people coming in who had never tried it before or whatever. Like, it matters. Like, everybody already knows what Pepsi and Coke is, but they still do commercials because it matters and it keeps them relative. It works. So just think of like, I mean, that's like a far off example, but we are more of just a condensed version. We're on a much smaller scale, which can make you feel kind of good, you know, like they're spending so much money on these commercials, and I mean millions of dollars, and if they mess up, they're out millions. And if we try to go for a paid account, we're out $10. Like that, just, it's all relative. And so think of it like that. Like, we're on a very small scale right now, and your art business could be large scale, and a really good way to get it to as big as you want it to get it is by getting more attention through these ads. So think of it as a commercial for your art business and test it. See if it works. You know, just throw a little bit of money at it after you do the free. Like, do the free first, and then try the paid advertising and just see what happens. Test it. Oh, one big tip is to barter with them. If you are going to do a paid ad through someone, and say you're like, okay, I want to do artwork in studio. Like, they've shared my stuff for free, or they haven't, or whatever, but I really want to get on their platform. Like, I really want to do it. And they'll give you an offer. They'll give you an offer that's like, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but it's like $15 for 3 posts. And, you know, they have some terms with it and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, great. Then you can tell them, you can barter with them, be like, $10, and they'll tell you yes or no. And more than likely, they'll say $12 and it's a deal. And you'll be like, okay. So it's basically, it kind of reminds me, like, if anybody's gone to Mexico and you go to buy something, you never pay like the main price on there. Like, what it is on the tag is never what you're paying. Barter with them. And like a car too, like, walk away. If someone, you know, they want you to buy, especially if your art is really good. They want to feature your good art on their page because it's going to help them out too. It's going to help you out a little bit more, which is why you're paying. But they want your business. They really, really do. And so if they say no to your $10, be like, okay, and then stop responding to them. And I bet in an hour or the next day they'd be like, okay, 10. That's just how it works. And one of the ways I met Dion Woods with the turquoise iris, that's how we met. She saw me, I was featured on one of the pages, and she was thinking about getting featured, and she messaged me, she's like, hey, is this legit? I was like, yes, and barter with them. She's like, oh, good, okay, thank you for telling me. And now we're friends, kind of. We're like virtual friends. And isn't that how the Instagram art world works? Like, we all know each other, but we don't, but we feel like we do, you know? Okay, so that's basically how you do a paid one. And again, just go around and look and see which ones are legit, and see which ones, you know, have a good following and which ones have a good like to following ratio. And like I mentioned, if you're in the Artist Academy Advanced, I've already sent you a PDF full of everything. All you have to do is cut and copy and paste into the notes section and just use it like that. If you're not in the Artist Academy Advanced, I'm giving you free advice and for you to go do it yourself. Also, one other story, so whenever I was researching how to like get big on Instagram a couple of years ago, when I had like maybe 3,000 followers when I first started out, and now I have like 57,000, which is nuts. But when I was first on it, I was like, okay, I want to do this whole influencer thing. Like, how do I do it? I started Googling like, how do other people do it? Not necessarily artists, because it was actually really hard to find how artists grew, but this strategy came up, and I watched this YouTube video of this guy who was really good at social media, and he did this strategy with his girlfriend's travel profile. And so I watched it, and he basically showed, he's like, all you have to do is have good content, and then you go and get featured by these like sharing pages. So for instance, hers was a travel account, and so they went and pitched her stuff. They actually made like a specific video, like it was very like upscale, and they made a specific video and they pitched it to all these like travel Instagram featuring accounts. And I don't even know what they paid, but they said they put some money into it. I'm gonna guess they paid several thousands of dollars to do this, because they pitched it to art featuring accounts that were, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, this was a big time thing. And so this is just another example. And so I'm more talking to you about how to do it for free. I also want to mention how you can do it in a very large scale. And because I haven't done this yet, and I've thought about it, but I don't know, it's just a lot of money. But if you want to, if there's someone out there that has extra funds or whatever, and really just to give you another example, just on the complete opposite end of the scale than the free way. So they made these travel videos of his girlfriend's account. They pitched it to these these travel Instagram featuring accounts that had millions of followers, and they put, like, she had worked on her aesthetic, on her grid and everything looked great, and they did features, and I think they did it for 48 hours. And they paid money, by the way. They paid a lot of money for advertising on that. And she went up from 50,000 to 100,000 in like 48 hours. It might have been 72 hours, maybe. I don't know. It was a really short amount of time. So this works outside of the art world. It's not like just art featuring pages. Like travel accounts do this too. And that's what they did. And she wanted to do that because she wanted to be an Instagram influencer. Like, she wanted to get the deals. She wanted to get, free swag, and she wanted to get paid to post. She wanted to do that. And so they're like, okay, well, let's take it seriously. They put several thousand. I don't know how much money they put in it. It had to have been a lot, because I go to some of the art featuring accounts sometimes, and like the ones that have several million, and there was one, I remember one was like, okay, $750 for one post, and I was just like jaw dropped. I was like, what? I didn't do it, by the way, but I wanted to. I was like, oh my gosh, this would be, because I thought, I was like, I'm gonna grow several thousand in a day, and you just kind of have to bet on yourself too. You're gonna have to bet that the money you're spending on this advertising is going to come back. And that's what all companies do. That's what all the big time companies do. I listen to so many podcasts and read so many books about how people, they put the money right back into advertising, right back into, product development. They put it right back, and they're hardly making any profit, and they're just right on that level of staying open, because they're putting all their money back into growing, and they're betting on themselves to be able to provide a really good product, at a bigger scale, and they put money into it. And so this is what this is. This is your way to do a commercial. And my husband is outside mowing right now. And I'm recording a podcast and he's mowing. Married life. So I bet you could hear it a little bit. Hopefully not, but I'm just going to wrap this up. Another thing, there are certain accounts that do certain things. So there are certain featured accounts that feature only anime. There are certain ones that feature only animals, ones that do only eyes. Like there's ones that do pencils, colored pencils, black and white pencils. Like there are all these featured accounts, of which I will give you in the Artist Academy Advanced. But if you want to go search for them, there are so many that are very specific to your niche. So I say that to go find them to help yourself too, but also don't pitch yourself to those accounts where, if you draw rainbow animals and it's an anime sharing page, they're not going to share your stuff, so don't waste your time. Okay, yep, like I mentioned, I have put my top 5 favorite art featuring accounts in the notes section. So all you have to do is just copy and paste them into your notes section, go to them, and try to get a free feature. And if they don't feature your art, go and DM them and say, hey, let's do a paid feature and see what they can do. And if you do that, please mention that Art by Andrea Earhart, my tag, sent you because it just looks good. I don't really have an affiliate program or link or anything set up with these people. They don't know that I'm recommending this. However, it does look good for them, to me. Like, if you're going there and say, hey, Andrea sent me, it looks good, because then the next time I go to barter with them, I have like just more bartering room, kind of a thing. So I'm going through and I'm taking the time to do this for you. If you could go and just say that I sent you, that would help me out a lot. I should have mentioned this too. This is my final thing, then I'll let you get back to painting and doing, your normal weekly things. But the last thing I'm going to say is the better the art, the better the chance that you're going to get featured. And I don't say that to where if you're, to put you down or just think, or for you to think that your art has to be amazing in order to go get featured. It doesn't. There are certain pages that feature, art that's at a lower level, or some that are at that medium level, and there's some pages that do only expert level. Just kind of find what works for you, but the better your art is, the more attention you're going to get on it, the better the art feature is going to do, and the more likely they're going to do it for free. So, go try it no matter what level you're at. Go try to get the free promotion. But also, just remember to work on your craft as well. Like, that is, we can do so many things with art business and, like sales tactics and all that. But really, it's like the better your art is and the more time you're willing to spend being uncomfortable, putting Netflix aside and, practicing, coloring, painting, all the things, the more you want to do that, the better you're going to be. I can tell you all of these marketing tactics, but the better your art is, the better they will work. So, not that you needed that reminder, but I just wanted to say that just in case people are like, this doesn't work. And I go to your page and you're like, it's like you're in the first 100 hours of drawing, like they say that you have to have 10,000 hours to become an expert. I'm not saying you have to have 10,000, but if you're in the first 100 hours, like maybe put a little bit more into it. Okay, that's a little tough love, like sprinkled in with a little bit of niceness. So that's it. Thank you guys for listening in, and I hope this helps. If it does, if anybody uses this, and okay, I know it will help, but when you see results, if anybody uses it and when you see results, send me a DM on Instagram and say, hey, thank you so much. This worked. I gained 100,000, or 100,000. I gained 100 followers over the weekend. Thank you. And I will screenshot that and I'm going to put it on my story because that helps me promote the podcast and it helps you and it helps everyone. Okay. Thanks, guys. See you next week. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time six-figure art business. With weekly trainings that include step-by-step proven art business techniques, plus painting tutorials from yours truly, and other guest artists who are masters in their field, you will be well equipped to learn and grow into the highly skilled and highly profitable artist you're meant to be. I've figured out what it takes to build my own six-figure art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. It's not hard, but it does require your time and dedication. So, if you're up for the challenge, go to advancedmember.com. That's advancedmember.com to learn more. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. If you review our podcast and send a screenshot of that review to me on Instagram, I am at Art by Andrea Earhart. I will then promote your art on my story and tag you as a little thank you for helping me grow this podcast and our Artist Academy community. I have a reach of over 50,000 on Instagram, so this is a little help me to help you incentive. Also, if you ever want your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy to check out the schedule every Tuesday to catch us on live. I'll see you next week.